Hi, my name is Aswan, and today I'll be teaching you how to make beautiful apps using Flutter. So, today we're gonna have a little introduction about Flutter. What is actually Flutter? So, Flutter is a platform that where you can build cross-platform applications. For those who don't have idea about cross-platform application, so let me tell you what is cross-platform application. You just have to write a simple code for an application and you can take out multiple builds for multiple platforms. Suppose I'm gonna write some code, some line of code here in Flutter, and in the result of that, I can take out the build for Android, and I can also take the build out for iOS and as well as the web. So here we are seeing that I just have to write one line of code or set of code, and what I can do is I can take the build out for three different platforms. So I think that should be a little introduction about a cross-platform. So Flutter is basically made by Google, and the thing is that Google is providing a lot of support. They are investing actually a lot of money on making Flutter grow. So they provide a proper documentation for that, and obviously, welcome. Then I've just opened my browser and I just have typed flutter.dev and I've opened the website. So it's just a introduction about the Flutter. So they are emphasizing on very cool design, very beautiful apps, and they had made the Flutter very easy. If you are, an Android developer or an iOS developer in the past, believe me, you're gonna love coding in Flutter because they had made the coding very easy in Flutter. The development process is very fast. You don't have to write much longer code for a shorter thing. You just have to write short codes and it's gonna produce big outputs. So we're gonna learn how to set up Flutter in our project. So what we're gonna do is, first of all, we're gonna go on Google and I'm gonna type Flutter SDK and I'm gonna hit enter. So after that, the first link will gonna appear. They're gonna say flutter.dev, the docs, get started and install. So I'm gonna open that link, and after opening that link, it will gonna ask me which OS I want to install the Flutter. So if you have a Windows machine, you just click on the Windows. If you have a Mac machine, just click on the Mac OS. And if you have a Linux machine, just click on the Linux machine. So if I have a Mac machine, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit on the Mac OS and it'll show me just some instructions. So how I can install Flutter in my Mac. So first of all, they had put some system requirements. They just had an overview that your Mac OS must be 64-bit. You must have 2.8 gigabytes of space on the hard, and what tools you require for that. That is not necessary, honestly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide down here, and we're gonna click on this Flutter Mac OS version 1.1, and we're gonna just click on that button, and the file will gonna appear here. So after the file appear, just click on the save button and the file will start download here. After the file have downloaded here, because I'm not going to download it again because I have downloaded the file before. After the file has downloaded, just make a folder here. Any folder, just I've made like the folder name development, and I'll just have extracted the zip file here. So after extracting the zip file, you're gonna see a Flutter folder inside there, and these are all the files of the SDK of Flutter. So now we have learned how to basically download the SDK of Flutter, and now the second most important thing, where we're gonna write the code for the Flutter, because they are only providing the SDK here. So there are various methods of writing code for the Flutter. You can follow whichever you like, but in this course we're gonna follow the most authentic one. We're gonna download the Android Studio and we're gonna write the code for the Flutter in Android Studio. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the Android Studio and I'll just gonna go download it, and for that purpose I'm gonna write download Android Studio and hit enter. So the first link that would be appear, and that will be saying that download Android Studio and SDK tools. So just right click it or open in new tab, or just click on that and it's gonna open in the same tab. And after it has opened, uh, you're gonna see here that the latest version of for that is 3.6 for Mac. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit download Android Studio, and these are all the terms. You can read it. I have read this, and I'm gonna not read it again. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just I've read the agreement, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on download Android Studio for Mac. So again, I have downloaded it for myself. So you're gonna click on the save button, and after the download process has finished, you're gonna open it, and let's see how to install Android Studio. After you have downloaded the Android Studio, you just have open your Android Studio setup, and you just have to click some of the buttons, and you just have to click next, 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 and the Android Studio will be installed. So after that, the Android Studio, if Android Studio has successfully installed, you're gonna see a screen like this when you're going to open the Android Studio. So now we're going to do some configuration for the Flutter, and then we'll be able to create a new Flutter project, and we can write our first application in the Flutter. So for that purpose, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click on this configure button here and just open it, and you can see some of the options are appearing here. So you just have to find the plugins option. Just when you're going to find it, just click on the plugins button, and you're going to see a search bar here, and just type here the Flutter. After I have typed the Flutter here, you're gonna see I'm gonna hit enter, and you're gonna see a plugin appearing here named Flutter. So what you have to do is you're gonna on your side, because the Flutter plugin is not installed on your side, then that button will be green like these all buttons, and you just have to click on the install button. And after the installation of the Flutter, we'll be able to use the Flutter plugin in our Android Studio. So basically, Android Studio is providing us a support for the Flutter, that you can build all the Flutter application in Android Studio easily. You don't have to go for the excessive configuration all the time. You just have to go here, just install the plugin here, and you'll be able to write the code for the Flutter. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hit OK after I've installed the plugin. Now, if you're going to see here, you can see the second option is start a new Flutter project.